Lesson 6.4, Elimination using Multiplication. Today when we do elimination, you need to notice that the x and the y do not have the same coefficient. So in order to fix that, we're going to use multiplication. Now, if I wanted my x's to become the same number, I could multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 2. That would result in a 6x for both of them. Now that would require me to multiply both equations. For this example, it might be quicker to multiply just one of the equations, because if you look at the y, there's a 1 in front of the first equation for the y. Now if I multiply that by 2, that would make a 2y. But remember, I already have a positive 2y above it. So this 2y, in order to cancel it out and to eliminate it, needs to be a negative 2y. So if I multiply by negative 2, I will get that result. So go ahead and multiply the entire first row by negative 2. That will give us negative 4x and negative 46. At this point, you can see that the 2x, the two y's, cancel each other out. If you add the 3 and the negative 4x, you'll get negative 1x. And then 37 minus 46 results in negative 9. Don't forget to divide by negative 1, and negative 9 divided by negative 1 makes positive 9. Now you're halfway done with this problem. You have to then go back to the beginning and take your x and plug it in. So 2 times 9 plus y equals 23. Multiply 2 and 9, that will result in 18. Subtract 18 from both sides. 23 minus 18 gives us y value of 5. Now don't forget to put your answers in order pair with the x listed first. And that's how you would do elimination for example number 1. You first multiply by negative 2 and then eliminate your y's. Alright, example number 2. Up here you can see I have x plus 5y equals 4 and 3x minus 7y equals negative 10. First thing I want to do is identify which variable should be the one to cancel out. I always look for the one that has a 1 in front of it, which is x this time. So those are the two variables that I want to make the same. All I need to do to make a 1 turn into a 3 is multiply by 3. And since the bottom one's already positive 3x, let's make the top one negative 3x. So do distributive property for the entire equation. Negative 3x minus 15y equals negative 12. Now it's time to cross out the x's. So we have one positive x and one negative 3x. So those two are gone. Now combine the rest of the variables. Negative 7 and negative 15 makes negative 22y. Negative 10 and negative 12 makes negative 22y also. Divide by negative 22, y equals 1. Now don't forget to take that y and go back to the beginning and plug it in. So x plus 5 times 1 equals 4. 5 times 1 is a quick 5. Subtract 5 from both sides, and x is equal to negative 1. And then lastly, put your answer as an ordered pair with the x first. And that's how you multiply by negative 3 and use elimination to solve example number 2. Number 3, 5x minus 2y equals negative 10. 3x plus 6y equals 66. Now, if you look closely at the x's, one of them is a 5 and the other is a 3. What's a larger number that both 5 and 3 go into? Right, 15. So if you were to multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 5, you could make both x's 15. And then if you make the top one negative, you could cancel out all these extra negatives as you go, because you do need one 15 to be positive and one 15 to be negative. So let's distribute. Negative 15x plus 6y equals positive 30, because negative 3 times negative 10 is positive 30. And then let's distribute the bottom row. 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 6y is 30y. And 5 times 66 is 330. Now we could cross out our x's. Now, some of you, when you looked at this, said maybe this isn't the quickest way to solve this problem. There is a plan B. All right, instead, look at the y's. All it takes is multiplying the top row by 3, and then the y's would be the same. So 3 times 5 is 15x. 3 times 2 times negative 2y makes negative 6y. And 3 times negative 10 makes negative 30. You see, I only had to multiply one of the equations to cancel out the y's. So this is another option. You don't always have to multiply and cross out the x's first. You could multiply and cross out the y's. It's your choice which one to do. Do you want to multiply 2 equations and get 15x? Or do you want to multiply one equation and get 6y? Both of them will result in the same answer. If you cross out the y's, we'll get 18x. 66 minus 30 is 36. Divide by 18, x equals 2. And then if you plug that back in, you'll get your answer for y. But if we go back to the other side, 6y and 30y make 36y. 30 and 33 make 360. Divide by 36, y equals 10. Now, like I said, you still have to, you don't have to do it both ways. You either do it by multiplying and get 15x, or you multiply and get 6y. Because you will get both answers if you plug in the variable that you found. If you take that 10 and plug it back in to the first equation, you will end up with 2. You see, 3x plus 6 times 10 makes 60. And then if you subtract the 60 from both sides, you'll get 3x equals 6. Divide by 3, x is 2, which is the same answer I got over here on the right. So again, it doesn't matter which way you do it, just as long as you multiply and make the variables the same. And our final answer would be 2 and 10. All right, number 4. For number 4, you've got a 2x minus 4y equals negative 22. You've got a 3x plus 3y equals 30. At this point, you should figure out which variable you would like to cancel out. Now, the majority of people have decided that the variable they want to cross out is the x. Now to do that, they're going to have to multiply by 2 and 3 and make both x's into 6. So they'll multiply probably the top one by -3 and the bottom one by +2. That way, instead of both 6's being positive, one of them will be negative. Now, myself personally, I would have multiplied and made the y's 12 because 4 already had a negative. But most people prefer to have 6 because 6 is a smaller number than 12. So we'll go through and do it this way. So -3 times 2 is -6x. -3 times -4 makes +12y. And -3 times 22 makes +66. For the bottom row, 2 times 3 makes 6x, 2 times 3y makes 6y, and 2 times 30 makes 60. Clearly you see that we have a 6x and a -6x to cancel out. We'll now combine the y's together. That's 18y, 12, and 6 makes 18. Oops, I forgot to multiply 2 times 30 and write down 60. So then 66 plus 60 is 126. Divide that by 18, and y equals 7. And now to totally finish this problem off, take that y, which is 7, and go back to the beginning and plug it in. Might as well do the bottom one because it's got positive numbers. So 3x plus 3 times 7 equals 30. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract 21 from both sides. So 3x will be 30 minus 21, which is 9. If you divide by 3, x equals 3. And then all I have to do is write my answer as an ordered pair. 3, 7. That's it for notes for multiplying using elimination. So if you have any questions, I hope this was helpful.